Welcome back to Paris. That is right, the Assassin's Creed franchise has finally returned to this iconic location in the brand new Assassin's Creed DLC dubbed The Siege of Paris. So what you are going to be seeing in this video is brand new gameplay showcasing this new environment. We're going to be talking about what is included in this DLC because they are including some really cool stuff that fans have been asking for, begging for to return to the Assassin's Creed franchise, including black box missions which are returning, and also something really cool from the Brotherhood game, which is going to be your ability to build up a squad, a group, a brotherhood, and actually upgrade them and bring them into battle and things like that. So some really cool stuff going on here for sure in the Siege of Paris, and it's a good indication as to what path they could possibly take here with Assassin's Creed Infinity in the future. So let's talk about it. Hey everyone, what's happening? Open World Games here. Hope you're doing good, and we are talking about Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the Siege of Paris, and we've got some reviews as well from critics that we're going to be diving into, like this one from Mashable. It says here, the Siege of Paris finally makes Valhalla an Assassin's Creed game right here. It says Valhalla's new black box assassinations are the most Creedy thing Ubisoft has done in years. Yeah, there's been such an outcry from fans to finally give options to players in terms of being able to be sneaky, assassinate targets, kind of like prey on your target like we did in the original Assassin's Creed games. We did that a lot in the first one and of course the second one, and it seems like they're trying to get back to those roots by giving players options. But so what is really cool here about this one is that they have rebel missions in this game, and you're going to be taking on a variety of missions, building up your infamy, which in turn will unlock certain rewards such as armor, weapons, that sort of thing. But also you will gain access to brand new rebels and then further upgrade them, and you can actually take them with you on your journeys in these missions, which is really cool. It's kind of a, I guess you would say, a small tease as to a more expansive system they could implement in future Assassin's Creed games. But this is something that I absolutely loved in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and it's really cool to see this sort of system return in this game. But let's keep going. Let's talk about the reviews. Of course, as you can see clearly, the new map space here is absolutely beautiful. Now, reviewers are saying that this takes roughly around, I think it's 10 hours or so to complete the main story arc in this The Siege of Paris DLC. So just keep that in mind, of course. But let's dive into this review a little bit more from Mashable, shall we? So they go on to say the following. They say this: whomever looked at Assassin's Creed and said, you know what this game is missing? A hopeless quantity of rats, is hands down the most fascinating person at Ubisoft. And really, I just want to talk. The rat swarms do add a level of difficulty to exploration and are an essential element of some of the add-on's best puzzles, but the noise they make is horrifying, chittering, squeaking, munching. Need not apply. So yeah, there's rats in this game that actually are in puzzles and things like that. Now, they further say this: the Siege of Paris is a short, enjoyable expansion of Assassin's Creed Valhalla that hopefully adds up to a sneak peek at the future of the franchise. It's proof that we can have intricate combat, engaging plots, non-assassin protagonists, and all the things that makes the new generation great, while respecting and improving on what made the earlier games special. It's not Mages Creed, Mythos Creed, or Vikings Creed. It's Assassin's Creed. That means bringing the assassinations, infiltrations, whatever they want to call them, back to the forefront of gameplay. I didn't know how much I missed feeling like nothing is true and everything is permitted until the Siege of Paris put the Creed back in the spotlight, and now that it's back, I don't want to give it up ever again. So that's really well said right there, to bring back what makes Assassin's Creed, of course. That is so important, and to bring that DNA back into the game. Now, of course, we have VG247 who gives their opinion about this. They said these Hitman-esque quests culminate in a stealthy, executed assassination event and feel a lot grander and more rewarding than just brute forcing your objectives like you could in the rest of the game. And what they are talking about is, of course, the black box missions, which you could see right here. You have several different options when taking on these missions on how to actually infiltrate the place that you need to get into. And then also you have the option to go in stealthy or go in, I guess you would say, all-out warfare mode if you really wanted to take that path. And there are several examples of this in these missions, and honestly this was one of my favorite things that they introduced into the Assassin's Creed franchise, and to see it return here is really cool. Now they go on to say this, VG247 says this: I think one of the wider criticisms of Valhalla more generally was that it didn't feel very assassin-y, but the showpiece infiltration missions have a clandestine energy that's sure to be popular. As you can see right here, this mission goes wrong. It's not going to be a complete fail, which I really like the fact that they don't have like an automatic fail. Everyone has spotted Ivor here, and you go all out into war mode. Now what that initiates is your assassination target actually becomes a boss battle, which is really cool to see. Now on the flip side, you can go in all stealthy, things can go smoothly, and you can get up close and personal to your target without alerting anyone, and actually initiate a cinematic and that sort of thing, and then have that assassination moment that we all know and love from the previous Assassin's Creed games, and perform that assassination without any problem. So as you can see, there are options here, and what I really like is there's varying consequences to your paths that you actually take on these missions. Now they go on to say this: before you get your hopes up too high though, they are relatively limited in scope. We're talking a couple of routes of entry leading to one special assassination event in the most part, so don't go in expecting limitless variety. Now outside of the main quest, things aren't as strong. From your Viking stronghold, you can lead rebel missions against Frankish forces, but these are pretty pedestrian, mostly boiling down to fast traveling somewhere, fighting 4 guys, and fast traveling back to where you came from. So that's what they know about those rebel missions, that they are kind of, I guess you would say, lackluster, it seems. All right, so let's keep going. Let's go into this review right here. This one comes from Push Square, I believe it is. And they have their review up, and they say, out of the black box. Now, they rounded up by saying the following right here. Let's take a look and see what they had to say. They had to say this right here: Assassin's Creed Valhalla: The Siege of Paris is another great expansion that fans of the base game won't want to miss. However, unlike Wrath of the Druids, the second DLC's strength is rooted in adaptation of the old Assassin's Creed formula. Black box assassination missions are the stars of the show, where stealth and deception are brought back into fashion. What's more, the story's darker tone makes for some memorable moments. Now they say the pros are story missions are classic Assassin's Creed, intriguing dark story. Paris is a fantastic setting. Yes, that is so true. Cool new weapons, armor, and abilities. Now they say the cons say some performance issues, but there's not many cons to be had from this review right there. So as you can see, let me know what you guys make of Assassin's Creed Valhalla: Siege of Paris. I think this is a good indication as to the path that they might want to take with the Assassin's Creed franchise in terms of Assassin's Creed Infinity. I really do hope that is actually the case, because I would love to see more black box missions, infiltration missions, Hitman style missions, I guess you would say, in Assassin's Creed, because it gives more options to the player base to be able to play as a pure assassin. Once again, what people know and love from the core Assassin's Creed fan base. I'm talking clear back to the original Assassin's Creed games, the Ezio story arc. Bring that formula back into the game. But of course, if you want to go all out war mode, that should also be an option. But yeah, it's really cool to see some of the features that have also returned in terms of the Rebel system. Now, it sounds like it's a little underwhelming with the actual Rebel missions that you can undertake, as according to some of these reviewers. But at the same time, I'm really happy to see that they have thrown something in there from Brotherhood, like a nod to Brotherhood. So that's really cool. But there it is, guys. Thank you so much for watching. That is Assassin's Creed Valhalla, The Siege of Paris. Let me know what you guys make of it. Let me know if you guys are excited also for Assassin's Creed Infinity. I'm so curious to see what they do with that one. But thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I will see you next time. Take care.